You have to be unreasonable to a point of delusion where you walk through and you're like, you break the barrier.
I feel like that saying like really correlates well into weddings too, the measure twice, cut once, because like that's really what a wedding is. It's you have one chance at most of the things that are happening in the day.
And it's just that leap of faith. Your mind doesn't want you to take those, but you have to push over it. And then once you push over, you break through that barrier. It's unbelievable.
You have two choices on how to respond to that. You can either let it completely cripple you and fall by the wayside, or you can
helping vendors grow and saving couples money. Welcome to the Wed Begin podcast.
What's up, guys? My name is Eli.
And I'm Jordan.
And this is the Wed Begin podcast.
Today, we're here with Kasey of Showkase Events. Really excited to have her on. I've actually been to events where she has coordinated it and designed, and it was just amazing. And so she was definitely somebody I wanted to have on the podcast.
Thank you.
Kasey, what is the story behind Showkase Events?
I mean, Showkase is the one-stop shop for everything that you need. Showkase Events came to be. Showkase Events came to be in inspiration of wanting to make things more impactful and meaningful for people. I mean, like weddings, baby showers, bridal showers, bachelorettes, these massive life milestones, first birthdays, turn into a moment of stress immediately. Everyone needs help planning and they're scrapping for all of these things. And then you're not even present on the reason why you're there because the mom is making sure the cake is doing this on time and she ordered this and her kid's crying and it turns into a nightmare. And it's like, I am so passionate about togetherness and intention and purpose and like really just being able to actually celebrate, and it shouldn't have to be stressful. So, you know, I'm a very intention forward person and I like to wear all of the hats that nobody wants to. And so I decided to start a business fully based around alleviating stress, doing things in a meaningful way and making it look absolutely beyond stunning and exceeding expectations every time with visuals and execution.
So tell us a little bit about some of those hats that you're wearing then. Like what kind of stuff are you doing within the business?
I am a self-proclaimed contractor. I am a florist. I've literally made giant, massive 8-foot floral arrangements on site with my floral partner. I am a coordinator. I am interior designer. I do holiday decor. I can whip up a charcuterie like no other.
Nice.
I am part therapist, listening to people's concerns, addressing them appropriately, staying level-headed. I would like to think that's probably the case with most business owners. Full on social media. I do all my own social media. I edit everything to a T in detail, graphic design, marketing, my own finance here and there. I'm not the numbers whiz, but budgeting enough. Budgeting. I mean, I do all my own invoicing for the most part. All of my rough profitable P&Ls, everything to the dime is done through my girlfriend. Thankfully, she's does corporate accounting and financial operations. So that's all.
Do you have a favorite hat?
Yeah. My favorite hat is being done with the event. I like because I love to sit back and watch. I like to be the observer. I like to sit back when it's done and watch everybody feel more present and more alive because of the work that I created. That is definitely the reward.
That is super rewarding in weddings, especially like that feeling, especially when you know you were a part of making everybody have a good time, less stress, more fun.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You've done such a good job at the events that I've been to, and I've seen like your social media content is always like on point too.
Thank you.
But I mean, it must be easy though because you do such a good job. So it's easy to video and photograph. So you also do really well at making vendors feel comfortable too. So like at an event where I was a vendor at, like I just felt like I knew where I was going. I had the right information I needed. And you just, it was a warming experience.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was really good. But let's jump into like the general contracting because I've seen some fun videos and I've seen what you've built. Like literally you have built these amazing pieces for events.
Yeah.
Talk about it a little bit.
Yeah. So will stand by this and Amazon slipcover backdrops. That is where my passion started. I can't stand seeing the $20 slipcover that somebody slaps a Care Bear cutout on top of. And I'm we can do better. We can just do better. Like, it's in my inherent nature to look at something and be like, I would move this here. This color needs to be this. You're missing an opportunity to have this be a focal point because your light and your color, I just see the world that way constantly, from hair to makeup to another hat that I wear. I'm a hair and makeup artist. I've done hair and makeup for weddings as well. Yes. They'll just come out.
Yeah.
So once I realized that things could just look better, I said, all right, then I'm going to have to figure out how to do it myself, which is where I started doing this on the side. People kept asking me, will you do my baby shower? Will you wrap my Christmas presents? What can I do to make this look better? And I'm like, wow, this is a business. So when I kept seeing all these, I had someone contact me about a baby shower, and I was like, I didn't even know the slipcover world existed, and then it started going viral. And I'm like, this can't be the answer.
Yeah.
So my dad was a contractor for a while. He owned his own tiling company, and did very well at it. And he showed me one time how to do it. And the rest of it, I figured out on my own. A little bit. He showed me with a jigsaw, couple of rough measuring things you want to check. One of his famous sayings is, measure twice, cut once.
Yeah,
so always
absolutely.
measure twice, cut once. Yeah, you can't go back. It's like a haircut. Once you cut off too much, you can't put it back on.
Yeah.
Materials are expensive. So he taught me once. I said, I feel like I can do this with other stuff. So then I started just playing around with it. I was very curious, and I'm like, this is fun. This is cool. I also did this entire thing from the ground up.
The vendors couples remember aren't always the busiest. They're the ones who place themselves where demand is already rising. WedBegin was designed for professionals who prefer alignment over chaos, collaboration over competition, and growth that's actually sustainable. So as you think about how you want your year to look, allow yourself to picture steady flow of inquiries of couples who already see your value. Take a minute right now, claim your vendor profile on WedBegin, and position your business where momentum is already building.
So go ahead and visit wedbegin.com to reserve your spot on our waiting list.
And I am so results oriented in a creative way that I was like, I'm doing it. Like, this is for me. So I just kept doing it. He would show me a new skill. I implemented it myself, and I just...
Well, I feel like that saying like really correlates well into weddings too. The measure twice, cut once, because like that's really what a wedding is. It's you have one chance at most of the things that are happening in the day. So it's like you got to measure everything and make sure everything's aligned and going to work right, and then you have one chance to execute. You know, there's only one first kiss. So
one first look.
Exactly.
Everything is planning and preparation beforehand. Double, triple, quadruple checking. So
where do you get inspiration for some of these designs? Like, are you? I mean, I look back and like when my wife does like events or parties at the house, it's Pinterest. Where does it come from for you?
I mean, I am a visionary.
Okay.
It's in my brain already.
That's crazy. Good for you.
Thank you. I just know. Like when my girlfriend and I feel weird saying my girlfriend, like I just want to say my fiance. I'm like, I feel like it invalidates a relationship. You know when you hit a certain age and you're like, I can't be saying girlfriend anymore. Like my dad is 70. They're not engaged. My dad can't be calling his 70-year-old partner. See, like, what is it?
Right.
What is it, right? I feel like I'm at the age
Are you engaged or you want to be engaged? So
no, we're not in a rush, but I will be engaged. It's like, you know, I don't want to, like, it makes you feel so elementary.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I mean?
You're in a very serious relationship.
It is serious. Shit's serious.
Absolutely.
Anyways, when my girlfriend and I walked into our house that we just bought, I was like, I already know what this looks like. I know what color this wall needs to be. All of these accents need to be this color. If the basis of this is this, then I can just see it. So what I'll do usually is the first step in my process of designing is, first of all, figuring out what the client does or doesn't want. I hear them. I ask them questions. A lot of times people have no idea what they want. So they'll say, here's what I like. And I'm like, well, what about this doesn't feel right? And they're like, well, so it's important to get all of the do's and don'ts. Do's are just as important as I hate this. Right. So then from there, I pull all of the do's that they like, Pinterest, whatever I can find, all the don'ts. And then we go through and we pick and pluck, and then I make it my own. So all of my designs are all curated individually myself.
And you'll do houses too. Like
Yes.
you'll go to someone's house and do interior designing.
Yes.
So
I've done a couple living room flips.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you're really like all over the place. But that probably ties in really well to the wedding space.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's like you having that visionary creativity.
yes.
That's huge. Tell us some experiences that you had with brides where you really like helped them, walk them through the process, made them feel comfortable, because I know that's a huge part of being the day of coordinator, the person the bride goes to. I mean, we've talked to event planners before, and it's like they are their therapist,
Yeah.
like you said you were earlier. So tell us how you came about that.
Well, I would like to think that I am a people person. I am an over communicator by nature, and I put myself in somebody else's shoes constantly. I'm like, how would this person want to feel comfortable? What can I do to alleviate any sort of stress? Back to my why. Like I genuinely am invested in making things better and easier for others. And I think the fact that I lead with such intention so consistently makes it really easy for me to do things like make you feel comfortable when you walk into a room, or little things like eye contact, a smile,
Right.
stuff like that. So speaking with sincerity, I think, really goes a long way at the jump. But also, like, that doesn't win every battle. You have to have credible information and knowledge to be able to actually sell someone on what you're saying. So, for example, the other day, I had a bride tell me, I am terrified of choosing a hair and makeup artist because everyone's posting these glow up pictures and they all look so edited, and there's no way that that's what I'm going to look like in person on my wedding day. But, I know my pictures will look great, but I want to know how I'm going to look like this. And I referenced a makeup artist that I actually went to, Ali Lamazzo Beauty. I said, take a look at this woman's profile. She is phenomenal because she posts the reality. Like, there are people out there that are transparent just as much as there are people out there that'll sell you the bullshit. And I am very transparent about who I am, what I sell. I'm not going to be your buttoned up, prim and proper bitch.
Right.
I am going to sit here and tell you exactly how it is, and I'm not suffocating myself and who I am to fit into your mold. Because if that's the case, I'm not the person for you.
Yeah.
Same thing with a makeup artist. Like, there are makeup artists out there who post, if you turn your head this way in a shadow, your makeup is going to look this way. But if you face this way and your lighting looks this way and your photographer shoots this way, then your makeup is also going to look like this. You may also need touch-ups. Your time of year impact. It's accessibility to the right knowledge to make sure that you feel comfortable and setting the right expectation based on that information.
Really?
Yeah.
And so there's probably a lot of experiences that you have had and witnessed that kind of went south, out of your control, of course.
Yeah.
How did you control those, calm the bride down, the groom down, whoever it may be? How did you approach those?
Solve the problem independently and tell nobody. If you can just get it done, don't inflict panic on other vendors, other people. If you can just problem solve it yourself, just figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Yeah, there's no need to even tell the bride if something happened.
Yep.
Because they don't need to know.
Well, I think realistically, most wedding pros, I'm similar to you in the way that on a wedding, I've worn many hats that I'm not even supposed to be wearing. I'm not contracted to wear.
The limit does not exist.
Exactly. So it's like,
that movie.
sometimes you just gotta be willing to, especially this is for anybody that's new to weddings, I feel like it's important to know that you might have those times where you have to do something that's not like, normal for a photographer, for example.
100%.
Or, like I had one wedding where one of the groomsmen ripped his pants. And so I sent one of my second shooters and I had him he was duct tape, and he duct taped from the inside. But
I
it
thought you were
worked.
going to say he took his pants off and gave them to the groom. I'm like, that is stepping up to the plate. That is the service we need.
But no, it was that wasn't the groom, thank God. That was the groomsmen, so we're good. But no, it was it's like little things like that. And like you said, even being a therapist for that,
a listening ear and a calm disposition when you can goes a long way. I mean, just to echo your point, like I literally have a video on my picture. I was doing a dinner party and I was just doing the charcuterie and the setup, and I just kind of like sat back and I was there if anybody needed help. I was cutting up and serving stromboli, and I was cooking stromboli. I'm like, they didn't ask me to do this, and they're also not paying me to do this, but like that's not the point. Like that's not why I'm there. Like, yes, businesses are there to be efficient and make money, and at the end of the day, if you're not making money, what are you doing?
Right.
However, if I can go the extra mile and it doesn't break my back, I'm going to. So it's like you wear the hat, because that's why we're there. And if you care about what you're doing and you're leading with intention and purpose in everything that you do, then it should be self-explanatory.
Where does this mindset come from that you have? Like entrepreneurial mindset.
My entrepreneurial mindset or my like intention forward purpose?
How about both of them? Yeah. Was there an influence that you had? Or?
Yeah, I mean, my brain just says like really candid things that like shouldn't go on camera, and it just did, and I was like, I definitely can't say that out loud.
You got a filter, so that's a plus.
Oh yeah,
That's a good thing.
some would argue that I don't. So thank you for that nice little pat on the back. I needed that.
There you go.
No, I mean, I actually, on my way here, I was thinking about something pretty deeply. I was like, what is the correlation between business, personal trauma, and endurance sports? Because I do all three, and I'm highly passionate about all three of those things. And I think the root of it is the start of like personal trauma. If you have enough things that impact you enough, you have two choices on how to respond to that. You can either let it completely cripple you and fall by the wayside, or you can take that and turn it into purpose based on everything that you never want your life to look like after what you experienced. And that for me was it. Like I spent 8 years in energy therapy and energy coaching to change my narrative and change my script and my perspective. And then once I did that once I uprooted my entire life and left where I was, and I was like, I rebuilt my life from the ground up like three different times. Wow. Alone. Bought a house alone. No parental help, advice, nobody to pick up the phone and call. I just figured it out.
Yeah.
With no money.
Hey, before we jump back in, if I could have just a moment of your time. Your support genuinely means the world to us. This show exists because of people like you who believe in what we're building. Wed Begin is our home for the entire wedding community, a place where photographers, planners, florists, DJs, and every kind of vendor can be discovered, and where couples can finally plan with clarity and confidence. So thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for helping us grow this movement. Now, let's get back into the episode.
So go ahead and visit wedbegin.com to reserve your spot on our waiting list.
And then I was like, okay, I can do this again. Left my job, left everything that I had, took like a colossal pay cut, and took another job to prioritize my peace and my comfort. And then I said, I can do this again. And then I trained for 2 marathons without ever running one. And then I said, I can do this again. And I'm going to run on my life on an unlivable salary and build a business.
Yeah.
And then I did it again. So when you do a lot of things that are highly driven out of not just purpose, but a place where you decided to change the hand that was given to you, it's really, really easy to be like, this is no problem. I did it once, I'm going to do it 10 times over.
Right.
So it's, it's professional, but it's personal.
Exactly.
The fire comes from everywhere.
Yeah.
You do it once, you copy and repeat. You can do it again. If you run a business, you can run a marathon.
Right. I like that I did know that you were a marathon runner, actually. So that's awesome. I'm a runner and a cyclist. I've done the ultra marathon cycling thing. So I think it absolutely plays into being a business owner. It is that thing of like, you can do anything you put your mind to. And once you do it, you're like, oh, wait, I could do this again. I might be able to do this even better this time.
Absolutely.
It's just like once you open up that door, like the possibilities are endless.
You're opening the door to delusion. The door in the wall sits at reasonability. The second that you think it's reasonable and you don't open the door, you lost. Yeah. You have to be unreasonable to a point of delusion where you walk through and you're like, you break the barrier. You have to.
Yeah. Huh. I like that.
It has to be a little bit delusional. Because if it was normal and it was average, we'd just be collecting salaries and there is no shame in the comfortability that a 9-to-5 life offers. And it's not all about being entrepreneurial. Right. No. But if you're going to break a mold and really take a risk on yourself, you got to be a little nuts.
You do.
You have to be a little nuts to test the limits. And that's what being an entrepreneur is. It's thinking in other ways and doing something else. You're finding creative ways to solve problems for people to make money. Mm-hmm. You're betting on yourself.
Yeah. The guest we had on right before you, he left his job without even his business wasn't even started yet. Invested a very large amount of money. And he's like a few months into his business now. And it's going great and he's happy. And it's just that leap of faith.
Oh, yeah.
That thing where it's like your mind doesn't want you to take the risk. but you
Right.
you have to push over it. And then once you push over, you break through that barrier. It's unbelievable.
Right.
What you
do it once in one aspect of life, copy and paste.
Yeah.
When you do it once in one area, you can do it in another. If you can run a marathon, you can own a business, and you probably have an underlying why that's a little bit deeper there about why you want to do what you're doing.
Yeah. What's your why? Do you have a why? There's probably a few.
Yeah. I talk about my why on my page often.
Okay.
I mean, my why is bigger than me. Like it's the first thing that's coming to mind is literally the event that I did yesterday. There was a mom, and she's open about her story, so I know that it's okay that I share. Her name is Emma, and she was pregnant with twins, and she ended up losing one of the twins during the pregnancy. However, the twin that was lost was actually the reason that the current one that is alive is still alive, because the blood supply from one of the twins kept the other one alive in a very complicated fetal pregnancy. And she did a fundraiser for Boston Children's, and I was like, say less. Like, this is why I'm here. And it wasn't like, I feel disgusted even saying this. It wasn't even about money. I'm like, of course, you went through, I read her stories, like 10 pages through Boston Children's. I'm like, I cannot even imagine what you and your family went through. Of course, I will be there. It's not even a question.
Right.
Like, these are people's biggest moments, biggest stories. Like, you are bringing a human being into this world. You are celebrating the love of your life. You know your mother's a nightmare, and you feel confident enough to say to me, Kasey, I can't deal with it. Like, please, just like, I just want to be present with him or her or whatever. Okay, I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
You deserve that. Everyone deserves that. If you're doing it for any other reason, then you're not there for the right reason. And there are people that do. There are coordinators that sit back and collect a paycheck.
Right.
Because it's easy.
Yeah,
If you want it to be. If you want to be the coordinator that sits back and collects a paycheck, good for you. But that's not why I'm there. So my why is, you deserve to be celebrated and loved without all the other shit that tends to come with these moments. And I will make sure that happens for you.
You're providing something even more than value, you know?
Yeah, the intangible.
Yeah.
So now, looking back, I want to kind of go into a different topic a little bit.
Yeah.
Early in your business and early in your, like, stepping into being a business owner, were there any, like, challenges or mistakes that you made? And, like, how did you overcome them?
Yeah, I dropped the ball pretty good one time on a pretty big client. It was the holidays, and I absolutely, undoubtedly, to no surprise, bit off more than I could chew. And I really wanted this job, even though I knew something about me knew that it wouldn't be quite right, but I didn't want to say no, because I am the type of person that thrives off of rising to the occasion.
I love that. That's my business. Rise to it. Rise to the occasion. That's really our slogan.
Yeah.
So I love it.
Yeah, and if it went well, I mean, the stage that I was on for this, metaphorically, would have had hundreds of thousands of clients walking through the door over a month span. And no pun intended, my work would have been showcased for everyone to see. So it's just so great how that slips right in there, isn't it?
It is. I like that.
And I missed the mark. I worked so much that month that I became brutally sick because I wasn't sleeping. I was just, and I was used to that. I used to bartend overnight, and that's what got me a savings account to be able to jump into my business. Like, I was used to sleeping only 4 hours and running a full day. Right. And it just got to the point where I couldn't do anything else, and I got so sick, and I'm like, I will never compromise the quality of my work ever again to say yes to an event that I cannot fully execute, even though I knew I was capable. I couldn't see it all the way through the way that it deserved, and the job was colossal. It was a colossal job. But, I mean, like, I hadn't dropped the ball like that ever.
Yeah.
Not once.
Yeah.
But how did you overcome that failure when it happened? Because in the moment, I'm sure you felt really like, this is tough,
I cried.
you know? Yeah.
I cried.
So now, how did you overcome that then, that feeling that you might, maybe did, like, I'm sure your next event you might have had doubts, like, oh, am I going to do it again? Or, you know?
I actually didn't. No. It was such a clear redirection of what I will never do again. It's not like I went into the next event set up and I was like, oh, man, like in college softball, if I struck out the 2 at-bats in a row, I would absolutely go up to the 3rd at-bat and be like, Like I couldn't ever clear my head and feel that way at all. I was like, it is very clear why I misstepped, what happened here, and what I absolutely cannot and will not do at the personal and professional integrity of myself and my business. I just will never do that again.
So there's that full circle then to endurance sports, because
exactly.
you endured something, and then you just kept going and you kept running, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
Have to.
Yeah.
Failure is inevitable. Like,
amen.
You have to learn fast and fail fast and keep moving, because if you're just avoiding failure, you're avoiding the inevitable, and your growth will then also be prolonged.
Yeah, you need to fail. Like, a failure every now and then is good to either keep us humble, but also get us through and learn new things.
I was on a good streak.
We all need a little humbling sometimes, but if we're always succeeding, we're not growing.
No.
You know, and then unfortunately, it sounds like it's contradicting, but it's true. We have to fail.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of us, it hurts our confidence so much that we end up giving up.
Yeah.
But that's not how we roll.
Yeah.
Especially if you're an endurance athlete, you know that you cannot give up.
Correct.
So what marathons did you run?
Boston and Berlin, Germany.
Wow.
Boston was actually my first marathon, which is crazy.
That was your first marathon?
Oh yeah, it was brutal.
So how did you get into it? Because you were a runner then, at least. Not at all.
No, yeah. So
Okay.
I played college softball, but I always ran like a little bit in college, just for myself.
Okay.
I didn't start running distance really, like I would say over 10 miles until 2020, probably 2019.
Okay.
So I'd spent about 6 or 7 years running 10 plus miles, did a couple half marathons, did some things here and there. And then, last year was my first. And before I finished Boston, I also signed up to go to Germany. And I ran Germany.
That's epic.
Before you even know if you actually even like the marathon thing, you're like, let's do another one.
Oh, yeah. My claim to fame is I literally don't even care. Like, it's so normal. So when you run marathons, the last major muscle group or system in your body to get attention from your nervous system and your brain is your digestive system, your respiratory system, your skeletal system, your muscular system, your nervous system. I don't know if I said that, cardiac, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Priority.
Yeah.
You don't need your digestive system to run. Mm-hmm. So what happens? You shit yourself. That's like, it's a real thing. Runner's stomach is a real thing. And it had never happened to me before. In all my training, I trained with different fuels, whatever. I was so sick the entire time running for Boston from mile 2, I'm not kidding, till mile 26.2.
Oh, man.
For a full, and I was training to run like a 3:45, and I ran a 4:15, 4:13.
That's a hard race.
Oh,
and
it's
especially
brutal.
from mile 2 to be like, oh no.
Yeah.
You hit the hills. Oh, when you get to like Newton.
Brutal. It was absolutely brutal. And then I said, let's do it again. So I'm literally nuts.
Yeah.
I was sick
How
the
much
whole
time was
time.
there between the two? Was it like
It was April 20, what year are we on?
2026.
So yeah, it was April 2026 to September 2026, end of September.
Okay.
So I took 1 month off from training, and then I started training again. So I spent, there was only 4 months in 2025 that I was not training for a marathon.
The wedding professionals who stay ahead aren't always louder. They're usually the ones who move early when the time is right. WedBegin was built for vendors who want more control, stronger collaborations, and a platform who only wins when they do. Imagine couples viewing your profile, seeing your bundles, and reaching out to you ready to book. Take a moment now, secure your spot on WedBegin, and step into the next phase of your business before everyone else catches on.
So go ahead and visit wedbegin.com to reserve your spot on our waiting list.
Yeah, because one of my best friends, he does ultramarathons. And
Nope.
this kid's insane.
Does he own a business?
He owns a few businesses. Actually,
Okay, so yeah, he's nuts.
But he did the Great World Race last year. I don't know if you're aware of that.
7 continents in 7 days?
Yep. He did it, and it was insane. He said, I mean, I think he got really bad shin splints too on day 3. So day 4 through 7, he was just running on shin splints. It was really bad. But this kid literally one time years back, he just I'm pulling in my driveway. I got home from work at the time. I was working a job, and he's just sitting at the end of my driveway, and I'm like, "What are you doing here?" Mind you, he lives 16 miles away, and he just decided to run in my house for fun.
Just taking a run.
And then he
You wanted
ran
to say
home.
hi.
Yep. He came over, and at the time we both smoked cigarettes. And we smoked a cigarette, and then he ran home. And I'm like, this kid is just another level. But I always find it so fascinating here with people that can do marathons. I'm not a runner. I'm like so bad at running.
Could be.
I probably could.
Could be.
I'm not saying, because I believe like I said, I'm the same, like rise to the occasion. I know I could, but it would be a bigger mental battle for me because I've never been an athlete in any sort of kind. I'm like a theater kid, musician, artist, you know? So it's like completely different world.
So it's all good.
Yeah. The mind goes into a completely different state, especially like in marathon running, it's like mile 17. Mile 17 to 26 is like the worst thing in your entire life.
Yeah, for usually 18.
18 for you. Okay. It's like...
It's funny. My buddy always says mile 3 is the hardest for him. And then after that, he's fine.
One through 3 actually sucks.
Yeah, because you're
I'm
finding your
not
pace
warm yet.
and your momentum. Like once you get in a flow, it's like...
You're cooking.
Oh, you're just like floating.
The runner's high is real. It's a real thing.
It really does work.
Your body just takes it for you.
And then you get stopped at a rest stop because you need to grab a drink and it just goes... Now you're done. Now it goes downhill.
One time in Germany.
Really?
Not one
Did
time.
you just have your fuel on you?
Nope. I was bobbing and weaving those little cups on the ground, and everybody else that was standing in my way at the water station, I did not stop one time.
You didn't drink anything?
I know I did.
Oh, okay.
But I ran over to the little thing,
I
grabbed my
see.
cup while I was running, and I drank, and then I tossed it. I slowed down barely, but I would not allow my feet to stop moving. I was determined to get a sub 4, and I did.
Well, especially if you've got that runner's high, I feel like you don't want to risk like
I was
stopping.
cooking. I was cruising. I felt so good.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah.
I did a 220-mile bike ride in 12 hours, and then mile 180. So it was 40 miles because that was like mile 180 was like 18 miles for runners. So it was like an ultra marathon on a bike.
Oh my gosh.
It was the worst 40 miles of my life. And you're on a bike, so your mind is like shutting down. Like I was shutting down. My wife was following me in a car the whole time. Like she was my support vehicle, and like she could tell like I was starting to swerve, and like I was eating donuts. Because you know when you run, you eat
fuel
whatever the hell you want. Because like you eat pizza and it just goes right out. All those calories are burned immediately. So it doesn't even Coke. You're drinking Coke. You're eating
Best
pizza.
part about marathon training is carb loading.
Yeah.
I'm gonna one up you both though. Today I walked from my office to my kitchen. And then back.
Yeah.
Literally all the time. I walked to my mailbox today. I got my mail. I'm like, that's great.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Classic.
Yeah. So I think it's absolutely, it says a lot about you that you've sort of brought that endurance strength into your business. I think that is, I think it's really important. I think it's important.
It all feels the same. It all coincides. Like I was driving here thinking to myself, business, endurance sports, personal trauma.
Yeah. Have you ever had a wedding professional high, like runner's high? Like where you were in the steam and you're just like, I'm getting it done, and like, talk about that.
Sort of. Like I will get insane tunnel vision. It's actually like a byproduct of ADHD is like hyper performance and hyper focus in something that you are wildly passionate about. So like I am a creative because I am able to think outside the box in those kinds of ways. And when I am in my creative space and I'm doing my thing, I'm like head down executing like no other, like operating at 1,000 miles a minute. And then I turn around and I'm like, oh my God, I did all that. Like you don't even realize it. It's just like when you're super passionate about anything, like I guess like not to bring the mood down, but to compare it to something like a little bit more negative, you get like blackout angry, which thankfully I've never done, but I've heard people do that. Like you just like, it's the tunnel vision. It's the, I don't even know what happened sort of thing.
Yeah.
But on a positive spin.
Yep. Right.
Yeah.
Could you tell a story of maybe like a crazy thing that happened at a wedding? Like the craziest thing, because I'm sure you've done a lot of weddings and you've had a lot of maybe wild things happen that you didn't expect. But if you could pick the craziest one, and could you tell us the whole story of like how it led up and what ended up happening and all that?
Okay. Let me think. Okay, so no, I have 3 that just came to my mind. I'm like picking between which one. this one was recent, so we'll go with this one. Not a wedding, but a proposal. So enough, because I do multiple different kinds of events. So my best friend was getting engaged, and I was planning this with her now fiance. And thankfully, she wasn't a very big flower person, but like we planned this beautiful like walk down memory lane it was going to be lined with like giant photos on easels of everything that they've been through the past 5 years together. And in front of these photos it was supposed to be lined, the fronts of the easels were supposed to have these flower arrangements, and then he was going to propose to her in between two large arrangements that would be set on the ground. So there was about 8 arrangements that were supposed to be at this proposal. Coordinated everything perfectly, and it's the morning of the proposal. It's like 6:30 a.m. I was supposed to be where I was supposed to be for like 11, so I would go pick up the flowers, whatever. This proposal is like not really that elaborate without the flowers. So I call the florist. I'm like, hey, like I'm on my way. I'll see you at 7. And they're like, today's February 1st, isn't it? And I'm like, yeah, why? They're like, flowers aren't done. I'm like, there's no flowers. None. Gone.
Oh, gosh.
No flowers. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, we messed up the date. I'm like, okay. So are you going to make me 8 arrangements and deliver them to me in 4 hours? Tried to push back the proposal. I pretty much said, do we have flexibility to move the schedule? I tried to not like tell the fiance, and we just winged it. And I had artificial flowers in my basement, and I made it work with artificial flowers myself.
Wow. Yeah, that's a pivot.
Yeah, that's crazy though that what did they just write it down wrong or something probably?
Yeah, it was just like a complete fluke.
And we've had florists on already, and we understand what goes into flowers in arrangements.
Oh, it's absolutely like, in the cutting of the stems and the prepping of the flowers and the solution that they have to go into.
They start on a Tuesday for a Saturday wedding, and they work all day long, like for 4 days. It's crazy. I thought it was like, oh yeah, just take some flowers, tie them up. No.
Nope.
It is a lot more
like
than
in
that.
order to get them to like time the blooming and all of that stuff, it's like very particular to when they're like at their peak.
It is a science.
Yeah.
And you have to store them properly.
It's science and it's an art too, because obviously like it's not like they're just putting them together. They were like trying to strategically like match colors.
Oh yeah.
There's so
that's
many.
Another thing that I do is I do full design portfolios. So I give them all of the colors, all of the flowers that the bride does want, full designing. All they handle the rest. So
I like to understand a little bit about your background and what brought you to wanting to do this. What did you go to school for? Like what?
Yeah, so I went to Nichols College. I graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. It's fancy words for a business degree. And no science there. No science. No science. I took one environmental science class, and that's it. I can tell you if a beach is at equilibrium or not. Anyways, yeah, so I went to school for business. Marketing and sport was my major and minor. I ended up getting a job in sports directly out of college. I actually, my professor at the time actually ended up hiring me because I was a good student and I was performative, academically did well. So she left, and myself and 2 other individuals grew a grassroots basketball company together. So we were the largest AAU basketball program in the country at one point, over 300 teams in 20 states or something. So very, very small administrative team. We just worked and grew sports and was traveling to do facility partnerships. I was pretty much thrown into, not really knowing at the time, running my own like leg of a business. Of course I was eased into it, but I didn't know that I was like at points like doing my own budgeting and doing my own marketing and really learning like how to sell and how to be in rooms with people and carry on conversations that I just had never done before. I was like fully submerged into it.
Yeah.
After about 5 years, I pretty much was like fully operating a good portion myself. I mean, in the first year, I was personally responsible for like about $1 million in revenue and growing the business.
Right out of college.
So yeah, I mean, we were working together, but I was doing a lot of the very basic X's and O's of the execution. Yeah. So I learned how to grow a business there. I mean, I watched a lot of administrative stuff happen on my end, which really gave me a strong foundation to be able to understand what business operation is like.
Right.
So without that experience, I definitely would not have as much foundational knowledge to do Showkase Events. I mean, my first job is what allowed me to really feel like I can absolutely do this on my own.
Yeah.
Like I just remember people saying, if you can do it on your own, then go do it. I didn't want to do it in sports. Yeah. I was young. I was my first job out of college.
Right.
I was fine learning and doing the thing and working my ass off, and I learned a lot. And then after 5 years, I said, I gotta go. Time to go. So I changed my life, moved to New Hampshire, moved in with my current girlfriend, and took a job selling finance and accounting jobs.
Oh, so
I
like
was
a
in
recruiter?
staffing.
Like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So the LinkedIn people reaching
Yep.
out on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I got a job for you.
Fun little plug about that. I hit a point in my first job where I'm like, this is not for me anymore. Like I literally gotta go. Don't care about the pay cut. I'm all set. So I was ready. As long as it kind of checked my boxes, I was like, I've only known one job my whole life. For 5 years, I've only done one thing. I gotta learn a new skill set. So if I hate it, great. I'm gonna learn something else about what I don't wanna do. I'm gonna take with it what I can. And if I love it, amazing. And I was super optimistic. It was like literally the first real job interview that I like actually had, and I crushed it and they gave me a job. So I was like, awesome. Let's take it. Let's see where it goes. And I did it. And in that time, I have no shame in admitting the fact that I leveraged the fact that I had a 1.5 year learning curve to build a selling portfolio. And in that time, I spent all of my time in a side room building Showkase Events. And I saved every dollar as much as I could, despite the fact that I took a bit of a pay cut, which is fine.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna do this. And my inquiries just started picking up like crazy.
Now, walk us through what exactly was that job then? So you reached out to people cold and you...
I was a recruiter.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. Now, how do you think that the skills you developed there ended up helping the beginning stages of Showkase?
For sure. I mean, the training program was absolutely phenomenal. I don't know shit about finance and accounting. Like, I'm a creative. Like, I am not a kind of person. Like, that is...
No friends for.
Yeah, correct. She is the logical... black and white. I live in the gray area. So like, that's just not me. But because I had such a strong professional background and could quantify that, they hired me in at a higher level than just an entry level position.
And this was in your 20s, all throughout your 20s?
Yeah, I was working at Robert Half, Finance and Accounting Practice Director in 2025, 24. I've only been full-time Showkase Events for a year.
Really?
So now, is Showkase Events, is it just you pretty much that's the actual Showkase Events? Or so you have no team members or anything like that?
My girlfriend is a big part of the team. She, for the first year, was there with me at every setup, every breakdown, did my books. She systemized what I was doing because I couldn't do both.
Yeah.
And I was sending her all of my stuff, and she was making sure all my numbers were good for reporting and stuff like that. Otherwise, all my invoicing, my budget, what I'm actually charging to my client, all that stuff is on me.
Yeah.
So I was a finance and accounting recruiter.
Nice.
I learned pretty quickly, probably about 3.5 months in. I was like, this ain't for me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to see this through.
But being a recruiter, like for sales, like understanding how people work and how to talk to people, and that is like invaluable. So that's what you probably do.
100%. I mean, most of it actually is not talking to people. You're just making phone calls. Like, my job was literally to make dials and send emails and hear nothing back.
Yeah.
I'm like, this respectfully, proud of everybody out there that does that. There is a place for everybody. I was like, this is empty as
Yeah. It really
I could
is.
not do it. I couldn't do it. And that is not, I'm speaking from my experience and what I value. I am not shaming anybody that works in those spaces. But what I value, it's not a matter of needing instant gratification. I'm not passionate about asking you if you need an accountant or I don't care if you need a senior accountant. And they were like, I kept asking them, I'm like, is this it? Every single time I would have like a monthly meeting to like, I'm like, so what do I do now? every time, and it just felt empty.
You're doing the same thing.
The same thing over and over and over again. And like I said, yes, I am results oriented, and it's not a matter of like I need to see results now. Like they kept selling me the long game. I'm like, that's fine. I know the long game. I'm fine with needing the long game. This is just empty work.
Yeah. Well, you're a visionary, a creative, so you have to change things.
Yeah. I was like, what's a creative way for me to sell that you need a data analyst? What? So I'm like on Canva, like making cute flyers, trying to like send out cute flyers. They didn't care. They like did not care.
Well, especially with cold like that, like when you're just doing cold outreach, it's just there isn't room for creativity. Now warm outreach, I think there's a lot more room for creativity because you're getting to, for example, like when I do a sales call, it's like a 30-minute call with the couple, and there's a chance for me to get to know them, for me to show my personality, for them to introduce themselves to me. So there's more creative leeway there than there is like when you're, like you said, you're just dialing. Most of the time people are either not answering, you're getting an FU, you're getting a whatever, and it's like, because I've done cold sales like that and stuff like that, but
it is
totally different.
It is tough. It is.
You have to have thick skin too, because like if you're an emotional, sensitive type of person, cold calling is never going to be the field.
It's not even like I cared about like the rejection or someone hanging up. I was like, all right, next. Like it was so like
repetitive.
Like just, I felt like I was just like staring at, I'm like, what am I even looking for? Like you're helping people find jobs. Like, okay, am I? Like it was dry. It was so dry. And like, respectfully, I have so much damn personality. I have so much to offer. My skill set is wildly way too versatile to be doing that. And I realized that really quickly. I'm like, this is not for me. And like, I know that I'm way more innovative and creative than this. So I was like, I finally built up enough confidence to pivot my entire life. I was like, who's better than me?
Right.
Literally, that's the delusion. There's plenty of people out there that can execute things in a much better way than me.
But you need that.
Right, but I actually believe it.
Yeah,
like, I'm like, who's better than me? Nobody. I'm like, all right, it's time. I'm like, I am going to create my own everything because I'm done giving people explanations on why I can or can't or should or shouldn't perform today. I like less about that, more about the fact that like there is more out there to be had, and I address that in my social media like thoroughly all the time about my purpose.
Everybody listening should go definitely follow you because you do some good social media content. Yeah. I did like the one, you touched on it earlier where you were actually showing us how to do what do you call it? Were you referring to the Amazon slipcovers?
I literally marketed and Amazon
And I wish I saw that. I wish you posted that prior to August because we had a baby shower and we bought those damn things.
Dude, everyone does it.
Are you talking about like the stretchy fabrics that go on the stand?
It's a metal frame, and that's why like events are expensive. Yeah. I am a luxury event service. My price tag is not for everybody, and I know that. So I'm not shaming anybody that chooses to go that route.
You're showing us ways to make it look better.
Correct.
And it's pretty simple.
It is.
And like we just covered it with balloons, but I do look back at the photos and it's like, it's kind of bland, Right. It's just a balloon
You
wall.
needed a little spice.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you call me and I solve your problem.
Yeah, I've seen your walls in person. Absolutely amazing.
Wait till you see this weekend.
What would you change about this studio as a design professional?
The table.
Critique him.
Table size.
I would okay.
The table size.
Too big? Yeah. I can take this leaf out.
No, like I like to be connected, and I'm like leaning over the table. I'm like, let's be close. Like let's talk intimately with one another. Like that's, again, it all comes back to intention to me. Like that was the first thing that I would say is like, I mean, if you're having a group of people on here, this table's great. Right. But maybe you have this as an option for larger discussion points, and you have like a couple of cozy chairs, and a couple of small cocktail tables, and a nice little tray on the front with some candles and a faux plant.
Yeah, look at that.
I can whip it right up for you.
I was gonna buy furniture. We're like so on the fence. I bought the table because I will listen to podcasts like religiously. Yeah. Like I am a big podcast guy.
Yeah.
And
well, you started one, so practicing what you preach, I love it.
A lot of the people I listen to
embody the podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. They do
the podcast.
I am the podcast.
They use a table. And like
So we've done podcasts where we've sat in a chair or in a couch. And I feel like for some guests, it makes them uncomfortable. If you're not confident and now you have to like sit in this couch or chair,
like especially
and
it's funny when you watch the footage after too, like because like we don't feel it in the moment because we're all just like we're sitting and doing our thing. But when I watch it after and I see like the heads just slowly like through the episodes, like
down in the chair.
but your like body's more exposed, and you can watch people's body language. Maybe they'll cross their legs and cross their arms. And so like a table, I feel like you're so much. If you are nervous, you'll be more comfortable.
All right.
Jump in the ground.
That was the idea.
Good intention of comfortability there.
Okay.
I like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
but you are right. It would be nice.
I mean, I feel like the aesthetic and the vibe would create something comfortable. I mean, like lights can be intimidating and stuff like that, but like, in my opinion, like that's a learning curve for the person.
I just want to say thank you. Every time you tune into this show, you're supporting something that's so much bigger than a podcast. This episode is powered by WedBegin, our platform built to help wedding vendors grow their businesses and help couples plan the wedding that they've always dreamed about. If you're a vendor looking for more bookings or a couple that's searching for trusted pros, WedBegin is here for you. So thank you for being a part of this journey with us. All right, back to the show.
So go ahead and visit wedbegin.com to reserve your spot on our waiting list.
Like you have to be able to adjust to your environment. Like, and if you create the environment that is comfortable, their body language will change eventually. And,
we will always notice it. It's always in the first couple minutes.
Of course.
The person we had on right before you never has been on a camera, never has done anything like this. I noticed he was shaking a little bit, and that's all good. Within the first few minutes, we were clicking with him.
It was chilling.
It was an amazing conversation.
Oh, good.
And it's just, you have to, you will adapt.
Yeah.
You will adapt. Absolutely. You were fabulous, though.
Thank you.
Absolutely so smooth.
Thank you.
But we'll wrap it up with one more question for you.
Yes.
If you had to redesign the entire wedding industry, what would you do? I want to tap into your visionariness right now.
I'm just going to say inflation. Price inflation around the wedding industry is absolutely egregious. It is insane. And I am not discrediting the amount of work and time that is associated with the people and places and things that cause that value to be what it is. But I personally will not be having a single flower or a single bridesmaid or anything formal or traditional at my wedding solely because of cost. I am unwilling to sacrifice a potential future savings account for my child, a better roof over our head, more money to invest in another property, or something else that is far more financially advantageous than literally like bare minimum dust on the ground wedding cost. If you check all the traditional boxes, is like 40 grand. That's a down payment.
Yeah.
That is a down payment. And it's like, I get it. The cost of doing business is expensive. My price is included in that inflated cost. I can want to serve others for that purpose and know that I don't want it for myself, but holy damn, it looks beautiful. Everyone deserves to be celebrated in that day. Though I completely understand. You deserve to be celebrated. And if you can just write a check and blink and have it not affect you, amazing. But that means you're probably part of the 1% of this country that's running all of our wealth. And the rest of us are not in that category.
No. And I will say, though, that's honestly one thing I don't think I mentioned about the WedBegin platform is with our bundling system, it's also, we have the vendors provide some sort of additional value or a discount. So in other words, basically to say like, hey, we really enjoy working with these people, so I'm willing to give 2% discount because I like working with Jordan.
Right.
And if everybody on the bundle does that, it can save couples anywhere from, $500 to $2,000, $5,000 even, depending on how generous the bundle is.
Yep.
But that's a big thing. I agree with you. It's like, I feel like everybody just wants to keep pushing their prices higher and higher and higher and higher. And then it's just like, where does it end? And do we keep like going higher, or do we find ways that we can work together as vendors to offer better service that's cheaper for our couples and helps them, not cheaper in quality, but cheaper in cost?
Yeah. I mean, like, most of the businesses that are one-off vendors in your special day are people just like me. who are 1, 2, 3-man teams spend endless hours creating, designing your operations. It's so much less about what's happening the day of and everything else behind the scenes. Your craft is like 25% of your business. A good operation is the other 75. And that is so much time and energy. And you have to charge accordingly to make a living.
Yeah.
And so I can empathize with why the cost is the way that it is, and I still don't agree with it. I'm not saying I'm changing my pricing.
Yeah. No, I see.
But so you're not going to give me a 50% discount?
Oh my God. Literally, the client that asks me to create this massive piece, a massive construction piece with lots of lumber and wood. And I'm like, yes, I can make you a life-size barn for your first birthday. It doesn't cost $700.
Yeah.
Yep.
It costs like $1,300 for just the barn and the balloons because that's going to take me a long time. And if I'm servicing you, I can't be servicing other clients. Like videography, such a long process.
Absolutely.
Editing and all that stuff. I mean, you guys are editing this podcast, like
it takes time.
insane.
Yeah.
It takes me like 2 hours to make one good reel.
Oh yeah, it takes a lot of time, especially like wedding videos. I mean, usually anywhere between 20 and 40 hours at least.
Oh yeah, and
know?
you're charging for your time. Like the same thing as you said, the process that goes into flowers, you're charging for that time. These services are expensive. And two truths can exist at once. You can celebrate your day. I'm gonna say that over again. Two truths can exist at once. You can celebrate your day with beauty and intention, and it doesn't have to cost $1 million.
Yeah.
If you think that you're missing out because your wedding day doesn't look like what everybody else is, then you're getting married with the idea of what everybody else is creating.
Wow.
And that is why I will not be having a traditional wedding. I want shrimp cocktail, oysters, and live music.
That, you know, the fact that you say that, we have so many wedding vendor friends who say that exact thing. They're just gonna elope, you know, it's funny. It's ironic. It's like, here we are, like,
we
wedding
probably have
vendors.
the most accessibility to make something affordable and still choose not to.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I'm all set.
This was an amazing conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you
I
so
agree.
much for coming on.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for our listeners to listen to this.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much.
Thank you
And
very much.
where can people find you on socials? I don't know if you want to address the camera here and let them know of your ats and all that jazz.
Absolutely. At Showkase_events, Kasey with a K, Showcase with a K. That is intentional. www.showkaseevents.com. Call me, 860-861-5479.
If you're a vendor looking for more bookings or a couple that's searching for trusted pros,
Wed Begin is home for an entire wedding community, a place where photographers, planners, florists, DJs, and every kind of vendor can be discovered, and where couples can finally plan with clarity and confidence.
Wed Begin was built for vendors who want more control, stronger collaborations, and a platform that only wins when they do.
Imagine couples viewing your profile, seeing your bundles, and reaching out to you ready to book.
Take a minute right now and claim your vendor profile on Wed Begin and position your business where momentum is already building.